content creators are not your friend. Kind of. They're your friend, but you are not their friend. Does that make sense? Do I need to repeat that a couple more times? Because I'm not going to bring up exact names or even which community I'm talking about here, but in one of the many online communities that I'm a part of, there has been a bit of a dust up regarding a lot of fans of a online content creator demanding access to private issues based solely on the fact that they think that they are owed that explanation. And I'm making this video to let anybody watching this know that content creators, everybody from me all the way up to Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, are your friend, but you, well, most of you, are not our friends. It is a one-sided relationship. By trade, most video game streamers, for example, are friends to their audience. But the audience is not that streamer's friend. Not exactly. They're their consumer, their customer. I think a massive amount of the world's social problems, particularly here in the United States, revolves entirely around entitlement and an overinflated sense of self-importance. Here's an example, okay? You can become friends with one of your favorite content creators. An example is, for myself, I have been a fan of Star Wars Explained for a very, very, very long time. Alex is one half of Star Wars Explained. Me and Alex had a decently long DM conversation over Twitter earlier today. That is not something that 2015 Andrew would have thought was possible. That did not happen because that did eventually end up becoming the thing because I was a fan of his content, but I did not become his friend until long after that. It had nothing to do with the fact that I was a fan of his content. It's because I treated him like a person and an entire person, and I respected his boundaries, and I continue to respect his boundaries. Let's just go down the definitions here for a second. A parasocial relationship, all right? A parasocial relationship are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, i.e. the Markiplier, the Alex Damons, the Andrew Signers, the etc., etc., etceteras, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Now, that definition is a little bit funky because obviously I know that is a person that has I recognize that profile picture, right? Because of interactions that we've had online. At the end of the day, content creators or anybody that you are in a parasocial relationship with does not owe you anything more than what they choose to give you. Because even the most intimate bloggers, to use an example of a blogger that I know just off the top of my house, Workhorse, aka Bitwit, aka Kyle, aka Awesome Sauce Network, one of the tech YouTubers that I follow, he does a lot of personal vloggy stuff, you know, home improvement stuff and, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? He chooses to share that portion of his life. That being said, end of last year, he and his now ex-wife began the process of going through their divorce. He simply said, myself and his ex-wife are splitting up. I'm sad. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to delete a bunch of videos that she was in because we did vlog stuff together. Y'all need to not throw crap at her, and I expect you guys not to throw crap at me and not to go digging and not to demand answers. I'm sure he got tons and tons of people demanding answers. Those people are garbage human beings, though, because people choose to offer this piece of themselves. The TikToker that you follow, the Instagram model that you follow, the sports player that you follow, the Star Wars YouTuber that you follow, the whatever that you follow, chooses to share this piece of themselves with you. There is an informed consent in that. An example is, you guys know that I have a daughter. I will happily say that that daughter is named Rose. I'm not going to share with you her middle name because her middle name is an honor towards somebody very close to me that died a few years ago. I'm not willing to share that with just the internet. I'm not willing to share that with you, whoever is watching this video. And you need to respect that of me. You guys also need to be respecting it for anyone else that you're following. A streamer, a YouTuber, absolutely anyone. A great example is for myself, okay? There is another tech YouTuber that I follow called Paul's Hardware. Paul's Hardware is Paul. I don't know his last name, not off the top of my head, because I don't try and creep on people like that. Despite the fact that I'm really a nosy bitch by nature. But Paul's Hardware, aka Paul, I identify with Paul quite a bit. He has an incredibly, ridiculously, absolutely arid sense of humor. Drier than the Sahara. And that I just love. Another thing on top of that is on some serious heavy-duty emotional stuff. There are certain parallels in our lives, at least in terms of the lives that he's chosen to share with his entire audience. Okay? Paul and his wife were trying for a kid, and they had a miscarriage. And then a little less than a year later, they got pregnant again with the kid who would then eventually become their adorable little young daughter, their baby girl. And he shared that with his audience. He shared that with me. That, of course, means that me, who also had a miscarriage early on with their first try for parenthood, and then a little less than a year later ended up with a beautiful, healthy baby girl, there are certain parallels to that, right? He has no goddamn idea who I am. He's got 1.3 million subscribers, and I can relate to him, and I imagine if he knew I existed, he could relate to me if he chose to do so. If he decided to put the effort into actually getting to know me and actually listening to me. That is the difference in between a friendship and a parasocial relationship, or the relationship in between your favorite streamer or your favorite YouTuber and you. I don't know what else to say other than the fact that y'all just need to respect that people can choose to share with you exactly what they want to and nothing else. And you need to respect that. Even into your actual friendships, even your IRL, like legit your friend. A great example is one of my really awesome, amazing, super close friends. Okay? I'm not going to mention her name because I don't have her permission to mention her name on this, with my YouTube stuff yet. But this friend of mine, she normally comes over every single weekend for the most part, especially over the last year and a half, because COVID, and we kind of quarantine-cued together to keep each other sane with myself and my wife and whatever. But this friend came over a bunch, almost every weekend. a few months ago, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened or what was going on. She just texted me out of the blue saying, sorry, I don't feel up to coming out. I'm not going to come out. Okay, next weekend rolled around. Sorry, I don't feel like coming out. Again, decides not to come out. Okay, cool. Sounds good. The door's always open for you. So she skipped 2 weeks coming over. I still, to this day, have no idea what she had going on, what was happening. We talk about everything together. I mean, my wife jokingly refers to this friend of ours as my platonic mistress, okay? You need to learn how to respect people. You need to learn how to respect that when somebody says, no, I'm not answering that question, that you're not answering, that you're not getting an answer to that question, and you do not deserve an answer to that question. For the most part, 95% of the time, you don't deserve an answer to whatever question you're asking of anyone. I don't know. I got mad at Twitter, and that's what a whole bunch of my videos are going to be from now on. Just fair warning. I know I said it in the last video when I said, oh, we're reinventing Star Wars Rambling is dead. Long live Andrew Simon, whatever. No, this is what you guys have got. Andrew getting mad at Twitter and then yelling about it into a webcam for 10 minutes. I don't know. Whatever. Just fucking leave people alone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. If a show gets canceled, then a show gets canceled. If content creator did something that you didn't like, then stop watching them. Fuck, man. Whatever.